Hi, I'm Kimberly, and I am a real mom of CafeMom.
What do you do when you're gone? Get your sisters.
I'm Kimberly. In our household, we also have Frank, who is my fiance, and we have 3 5-year-old identical triplets, McKenna, Isabel, and Alyssa, and they're a big ball of spontaneity and fun and craziness, and we just kind of live our life that way. I teach at a local high school. I do drama and English. I'm the director for the drama department out there. Well, most people are really kind of surprised to find out that my girls are actually spontaneously conceived. In the triplet community, that means that I didn't have any medical intervention. In fact, Frank and I tried for 2 months. On the 2nd month, we got pregnant. Had what was a textbook pregnancy. At 20 weeks, we go in to find out the sex of a baby. And she laid me down on the table and starts the ultrasound. And she turns and she says, "Frank, you might want to sit down." And Frank's like, "What? What is it?" He sits down and she turns to us and she goes, "Guys, there's 3 in there." And Frank turns like white as a sheet and puts his head down on the thing. He almost passed out. I start giggling. I'm just like laughing hysterically because, I mean, what do you do? They just told you there's 3 babies in there. Then 11 weeks later, they were here. I went into preterm labor at 29 weeks, ended up in the hospital for a week. I had a tear in Isabel's sac and woke up the morning of 31 weeks, and the doctor said we have to deliver, and they rolled us back and they were here. And they spent 2 months in the NICU. There were a lot of complications being born at 31 weeks. Alyssa only weighed 2 pounds 6 ounces, McKenna was 3 pounds 3 ounces, and Isabel was 3 pounds 4 ounces. Today, they don't really have any, you wouldn't know that they were premature. You wouldn't know that they have any issues whatsoever. They run, they jump, they play, so. They are identical in looks, except for the fact that all 3 of them have at one point in time had stitches. So they have 3 different scars on their face, and that helps people tell them apart. We've dressed them in colors since they came home from the NICU. I honestly cannot tell them apart from behind. If I'm standing behind them and someone goes, "Oh, who's who?" and having them dressed in those colors makes it so that I can see them and tell them apart. They all 3 do their own individual sports because they're together all the time, and people refer to them as the triplets or, you know, the Gwyn girls or whatever. And so to give them something that is not competitive, that is just theirs, we decided to put them in 3 sports. Problem is, that means we are going to 3 sports. So 3 nights a week, we're kind of in their sports and doing that. But Isabel does gymnastics, Alyssa does ice skating, and McKenna does horseback riding. One of the things when you first meet my girls, you're going to find out that they have more personality than you will ever see. They are just bundles of joy. They have never met a stranger in their life. And so they love everybody. They are always giving hugs. They can overwhelm you really quickly because they just kind of run at you and they jump and they play, and they're just always moving and going. You know, they sleep wonderfully, and that's because they crash at night. They will just entertain you in ways that you never would have thought of. Like, it's just so funny when they go for it. My CafeMom screen name is I Am Mom to Trips, and you can find me in the Moms of Multiples group on CafeMom. Subscribe to CafeMom Studios on YouTube now.